What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Johnny. Back again with another video recommendation from the subscribers. Today's video, Fake Woke. From the title alone got me super interested. And I'm just really excited that I've hit this new, what do I want to call it? Stride in life. You know, mainstream society really makes you think that there's not a lot of open-minded people. And growing up in the hood, man, I always felt like I was an extreme anomaly because no one wanted to question anything. You know, one of my favorite sayings is everybody thinks, but no one thinks. But if you did, you wouldn't fall for a lot of the lies that you hear, a lot of things that wouldn't make sense, and you wouldn't be so gullible. But when you're in a weak, low self-esteem mind state, anything can be pushed on you. Hit the like button for me if you can. Please consider subscribing to the channel. And if you like what you hear, share the video far and wide. Now, one of my favorite quotes by Frederick Douglass is knowledge makes a man unfit to be a slave. And once you open a book and you open your mind and you open your third eye and you realize the master key system to life and thoughts and things, you create your reality. Oh boy, that's when it gets interesting.
I think it's crazy I'm the one who they labeled as controversial, and Cardi B is the role model for 12-year-old girls. There's rappers pushing Xanax at the top of the billboard, but if I mention race in a song, I'm scared I'll get killed for it. It's backwards, it's getting exponentially dumb. It's more difficult to get a job than purchase a gun. Eminem used to gay bash and murder his mom, and now he doesn't want fans if they voted for Trump. We're ashamed to be American. You should probably love it, because you have the right to hate it and not get stoned to death in public. As children, we were taught how to walk and talk, but the system wants adults to sit down and shut up. Cancel culture runs the world now, the planet went crazy. Label everything we say as homophobic or racist. If you're white, then you're privileged, guilty by association. All our childhood heroes got Me Too'd or they're rapists. They never freed the slaves. They realized that they don't need the chains. They gave us tiny screens. We think we free because we can't see the cage.
I've always said that. Slaves are not free. We're in slavery 2.0 right now. I don't need to control your body if I can control your mind. You can read The Miseducation of the Negro by Carter G. Woodson, and he talked about that. You can read The Negro Problem in 1908 by Booker T. Washington, and he also talks about that. You can go check out Marcus Garvey from the early 1900s. Everyone has always said the same thing. I don't need to control your body if I can control your mind. You're going to oppress yourself. You think you less than. You think you ain't nothing but a shooter. You think your job is to grow up and kick indoors. You think your job is to grow up and be strippers. You know, the most powerful thing that you have is your mind. And we live in a society where it's weird because you're born into life. Like you come out of your mama and your whole point is developing consciousness. So if your consciousness gets stifled at a young age, you don't know you're being led down a terrible path. It's like the biggest catch-22 in the world that I didn't know, and most people don't know. The people that are in front of you are leading you straight to hell, consciously or unconsciously.
I knew that race war would be the game they need to play for people to big teams that use the media to feed the flame.
They so fake woke. Facts don't care about feelings. They know they won't tell me what to believe in. Hey.
One thing that I say a lot, and I'm really glad I discovered him, and so I can say this out loud. And I'm so glad that it's a white man standing up saying I'm tired of this bullshit. Like, where are the Stone Cold Steve Austins? You know, the Shawn Michaels, the Triple H's, who didn't fall for the weak stuff. Like, I don't believe every white man is privileged. You got to get your ass up and go to work just like I do. You got to lift weights. You got to apply for a job. You got to read books. You got to get that knowledge. You got to apply that knowledge. So I've never been in the mindset that a white guy is my enemy, you know. Every job I've had, a white guy has been my best friend. And I grew up hood as hell, but I've always been in IT. It's so crazy how I meet so many progressive liberals, and they assume that they know me. And they hear me talk, and they're stunned. I say all black people are conservative naturally, out the gate. My grandparents are conservative. My great-grandparents are conservative. But if you take somebody's brain away, they don't know that. You don't understand that Martin Luther King is a registered Republican. And when I personally think that both sides are full of stuff anyway, like Malcolm X said, black people have been nothing but a political football, just kick back and forth. And I don't think it's just black people no more. It's everybody. America isn't America anymore. And until we can get we the people to stand up, you know, to be some modern day founding fathers and mob it out on our own, we're gonna continue to deal with the fake woke and the propaganda that's being thrown to us, because they really after our children. It ain't so much of the adults they trying to throw these attacks on. It is after the young kids to make them confused.
Genius for sure. They're underfunded already. They're way too busy to work. Order food and call the cops. See what reaches you first. Segregation ended, that's a lie in itself. That was a strategy to make us think they were trying to help. They knew that racism was hot if they designed it to sell. We buy up every single box and divide us ourselves.
Hey, that was goddamn. Now, what if we can get somebody mainstream to say this? Because everybody has to know. Like, imagine if there was black people here and white people here. How do you stop them from mingling? Tuskegee Institute was founded in the 1800s, and Booker T. Washington had a white man helping him run that school. The original Civil Rights Act was in 1875. The compromise, the compromise of 1877 is what took the troops out of the South, and the troops were in the South to protect not only black people but white Republicans who were being lynched as well by the Democrat South. All of these things that we just don't know, so we think it's been Democrats good, Republicans bad. Abraham Lincoln wasn't even on the ballot in the South to vote in the first place. There was 2 Democrats down there, and that's the reason that Lincoln won. When Lincoln was assassinated, the guy said the South has been avenged. Andrew Jackson was the next president, Democrat, created the Trail of Tears and sent the natives off, which we don't talk about. The natives owned slaves as well, so it's not like slavery was just something done to black people by white people. Slavery was everywhere. Natives owned slaves, natives owned black slaves. All this stuff is just mixed into history to make us hate each other, to make us think you're the bad guys, I'm the good guys. When everything in life is cause and effect. So there's no, how do you judge a 1619 situation with a 2021 mindset? How do you even begin to take your current state with technology, with the internet, with Wikipedia, and put it back to a time when they didn't have nothing? They was rubbing sticks together to make fire. That's arrogant and ignorance in itself to think that you can do that. Because if I was to Thanos snap you right now, you would go back into that situation and be stuck. You'd be a mute. Because nothing you saying relates to those situations. So I can't look back and criticize and judge anybody. But I am tired of the overly fake woke Black Lives Matter sign in my front yard, Black Square on Instagram. Y'all don't care about the inner city. When these babies are getting shot, y'all don't care. I have 2 friends that have lost children under the age of 5. There was no protest for them, and they kids never got national attention. In Chicago, it said more kids have been killed from homicide than COVID-19 worldwide. You don't see that on the news. You can look up let me get the exact stat. But I want to say in the 86-year period, there were about 3,000 lynchings. We pass that number every 6 months in homicide. But the police are the problem. And America is so bad. But what's going on in Cuba? What's going on in Australia? The ignorance of teaching Americans to hate America is overkill. And I personally think Black Americans are leading the movement of destroying America and bringing in a communist society that's going to kill everything.
Whoa, facts don't care about feelings. They know they won't tell me what to believe in. They so fake.
That facts don't care about feelings. I feel like that's some Ben Shapiro vibes.
Oh, same old, same songs. They so fake woke. Facts don't care about your feelings.
We use violence to get peace and wonder why it isn't working. That's like sleeping with a football team to try and be a virgin. Politicians are for sale and someone always makes the purchase. But you and I cannot afford it. Our democracy is worthless. If a man has mental illness, call him crazy, say it silently. When country's going crazy, we accept it as society. Get sick and take a pill. When the side effects get you high, you get addicted like these rappers dying, fighting with sobriety. Censoring.
Hey, like I said, I'm real transparent, man. My mom overdosed on opioids fatally. 5 years ago, took 2 pills and overdosed. So yeah, man, I get it. As a young boy, I thought it was cool to take a Xanny here, to pop a pill here, until you get a call at 5 a.m. that your mom is dead. And then you get her death certificate back and see that she's dead simply because she took a pill that the doctors prescribed. You couldn't pay me to take no pills nowadays. No fast food, no soda, health as well. But all of the stuff, I mean, I worked at an elementary school, and man, half the little boys are already on some pill to get them to sit down and sit still. Half the girls in the high school are already on anxiety and depression pills. We have a society running around on drugs, and we're wondering why we're sick. You don't hear about taking vitamins. You don't hear about exercise, getting the proper sleep. We want you sick so we can sell you a cure, so you can be sick so we can sell you another cure, so you can be sick so we can sell you another cure. That's how the system works in America. And I don't want to just say America at this point. I want to say worldwide. Like worldwide, we're trying to extract all the money we can from the masses without them realizing it. The AOCs want to tax the rich while they're making $174 a year plus endorsement deals, aka under the table lobbying, backdoor illegal stuff. You know what I'm saying? But that's just my take. I'm gonna leave the full video in the description. I'm gonna leave it here. I do believe that, I don't know. I was gonna say I thought the massive society was fake woke, but man, bro got a pretty big fan base. So like I said, there's a lot of people out there who think the way I think, and I'm excited for more people to speak up and say it out loud. You know, as a man, there's nothing you can't say. You know, black, white, yellow, brown, green. You got freedom of speech just like I do. Stand on your feet, stand on your principles. I don't believe white men are racist for wanting to protect America and stand up for their family. Say it out loud, like Kevin Hart said. Say it with your chest. You know what I'm saying? Until next time, you two, spread love, spread positive vibes. Be the change you wish to see in the world. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel.